Hello, everyone. Welcome back in the trenches. It is Frontline Prediction League. It is the FPL. It is Frontline Prediction League. I screwed that one up, but it's all good. You know what it is. I never say it right the same way twice, or like 15 times now. But I'm Scott. That's the person saying it weird. I am here, joined by my co-host BeerMeJesus. How are you today, BeerMe?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. It's hot here, but we were just talking. It's hot everywhere right now.
Hmm.
It's stupid hot, but things are hot in the league too. I don't. It's a bad segue, but Frontline League, Frontline League on Twitter. Follow us there. Come take a look. Follow, like, and subscribe down below as well. Come into our Discord, see all our stuff. You can get some interesting stuff with some interesting matches coming up, and that's what we're dealing with right now. With a couple house shows that are our upcoming stuff, but also some Q&A. We've got a bit of everything for this one because we've actually got a week or so, as you can see, July 11th, and today's the 30th when we're recording it, and it's going up tonight. Not going to be delayed till tomorrow, but we got a couple weeks before the next show, Beer Meat, like a week and a half, but there's a bit of time to go, so we've got a bit of a skip week here, but we don't skip, you and I here. We always are here, except for when CT has to fill in, when the microphone dies. But we're here to talk about a few things for Best in the World, a little bit for Slammiversary, we even have a little bit for Money in the Bank, and then we're going to close out from there, but we're going to make everybody wait for that, because the Q&A is the main theme here. And I've got a few questions that were compiled. Thanks, everybody, for sending them. It's top of the card pod. Nope, that's the other one. We did that last time. It's Frontline League is for this one. This is for the FPL questions. I know you've got some that CT sent you. I've got stuff that Red compiled. So how many questions did CT send you? Just so we can kind of brace it here.
4.
4? I think that's what I've got as well. So I'm going to hop over on mine, and we'll go back and forth. You do one, I'll do one, you do one. We'll both answer it, but that way we can stagger the 8. Okay, here we go. Sorry for the cut there. Don't normally do those on Frontline, but didn't want to open up the page this came from. But I've got everything here, bear me. I'll start with one of mine, if you like.
Go ahead.
Okay. First one is from CJ Hawk. He asks, with all the chaos going on lately, there's been many people rising up and are doing great things. But there are some that has a glass ceiling over their heads and haven't quite made it yet. Is there anyone you are all dying to see step up and make it to the top? Not naming yourselves, of course. I wouldn't name myself. I've been to the top, and I'm kind of low right now. I'd love to get back there, and that's always the goal. It's everybody's goal.
Right.
As far as for people who haven't gotten there, I think, like, he's talking about the guys who haven't gotten a shot, so, like, the Sebastian Escobars aren't who he's talking, I think. Because, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? But honestly, him. CJ Hawk, I'd love to see him get up there. I'm all about the new blood. I'm always wanting to see who else we can mix in there and change things. But being early on, still in the first year, some of those first-time encounters are veterans, like we've seen the stuff that Real Nintendo's had and McKennedy have had with their contenders, have all kind of been pre-FPL veterans for the most part, right? So as we go through those, we see guys rise through the ranks like a JJ Rocky did last year. We'll get there. I think Hawk is probably my answer, though. Even though he's not a newer guy, but he hasn't gotten the big shot here quite yet in the FPL. So he's actually my answer offhand. And actually probably the Strays. Those guys coming in new, Sheriff Dog and Michael Marsh. Those guys coming in as strong as they are, I like that. I want to see more of that. I want to see people come in there and just kind of go on a tear, see how long it goes. So that's probably my answers. How about you?
Those are good. I'll give you two. Well, I guess he did break through now, but Lucian Hollis would be one.
Yep.
Finally got that. Kind of got that big win.
Mm-hmm.
And James Black.
Yeah.
As well. I mean, I guess he did get the Hell in the Cell shot, but he's on his way up, but like he wasn't really there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Hollis.
I think
I'll say Hollis first. Hollis has been kind of like he's been getting a shot at a shot, but he never quite got it. But he did now. He's in there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of just broken into that. And Black, yeah, I think Black. We both agree. It's like the same kind of thing. He's kind of turned that corner and just getting there. So yeah, I agree. I like those.
I'm trying to think of like one more good one I could think of. Man, it's so hard. That's a really good question.
Because it's like, who's kind of been there that hasn't gotten a fair shake yet? That isn't like a champion or a contender?
Man, yeah, maybe.
It's going to be like, oh yeah, when I think of another one, but I'm kind of
right.
Yeah. Detrick Cyrus, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's someone like I'm thinking. I'm going back to the Rumble. When I was writing the Rumble, the guys like the day one guys from the Rumble, Detrick Cyrus, absolutely. He's been consistent. He's been going and going strong, I think, and he's kind of starting to outpace some of the others because the others who have gotten their shot and not quite succeeded, eyes are turning toward him. So I think he's up in that range.
I agree 100%. I think he's starting to get his like type of story or thing going. So
yeah.
Hopefully he'll go up there. Well, not really Kier 1. He didn't really have a title shot, but Kier 1's another one. He's been up and down, but he's been more up than down, I think. So give me another one. Jace, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
That's a good one. I like that question. That's a good question. That's the kind of stuff I like. It like really makes you think about the roster and kind of what we can do and where we can move with stuff. So yeah.
Speaking of along the same lines to that question, it kind of goes along the same lines as this question, but not really. I mean, well, yeah, you're going with overlooked, but CTS, who is the most underrated superstar in the FPL right now?
Underrated.
So underrated. I think I got it. I'm gonna go with LJ of the Creatures. Because I feel like Modstep and Chappers and JJ get all the love, and we don't really ever talk about LJ, even though he does really well.
Yep.
So I think it's him. I think he's under the radar.
That's
a lot.
I think that's head and shoulders who I would pick as well. I'm trying to see if I can think of anybody else offhand though, because that's kind of the point, right? Like who else?
Yeah.
Underrated. Because it's a similar question, but you're right. It's kind of different. I keep thinking of Jason Blades.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I keep thinking of. And you know what? Alpha Dog. But I think both of them are starting to like come around that corner as well. So like they're not really underrated anymore, but they were in that sense, I would say. But with recent events, they're both kind of turning that corner. So yeah. Anybody else come to mind, or is that what you're thinking?
I think those are a couple of good ones. I'm trying to think, but it's so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really think of one that's. Well, I said who was most. In my opinion, that's who was most. So.
Yeah, we can always come back if we go. Oh yeah, and so we'll think on that.
Yeah.
Next, I got Red actually put a question in. Red asked, "Can you create a 4-person faction with the current FPL roster? Anybody can be used, just don't list a current faction."
Okay, so does he want people that are not in factions, or is it anybody?
I think he wants like, what's your dream team of 4 people?
Ooh,
like so you can't pick like Modstep, Chappers, JJ, and then someone like because that's using a faction basically, right? That's
right.
That's pretty much the Creatures. Then the joke there was LJ undervalued.
Oh wow!
I think back to like the Survivor Series that never happened, and like the Dream Team kind of situation there, where it was like what, God, it was what Warden and I with JJ and Payne. JJ. So like take Warden out.
I had Payne.
You had Payne. That's right. Yeah. So like I honestly, my dream team would be myself, JJ, you, and I'm just thinking like off the cuff. Not GMSG. That'd be like that. I can see that too, but that'd be another one. I can't pick Red or Lee. Me, you, JJ, and McKennedy. That's
pretty good.
I like the character. RGX is in there. I could do it again. Like me, it's always gonna be me. Okay, not including me.
Right.
RGX.
All right. We won't include ourselves.
It's letters. RGX, GMSG. RGX, GMSG, Oh, now I can't. I had them. They were in my head. Not CT. I want more than 2 letters. RGX, GMSG. Crap, what was the other one? There's an obvious one that's... Oh, JJ. That's 2 letters still. Nah, screw it. RGX, GMSG, JJ, and CT. The alphabet.
All right. Yeah.
That's a good team, though, otherwise. Beyond the joke, that's still a good team.
It is really good.
Who you got?
All right. If I'm not going to include myself...
Do one with yourself and one without. Because I did.
All right. I'm not gonna pick my faction members because, I mean, I'm already in a faction with them, so I'll leave them out. Me, JJ, Payne, and Sebastian Escobar.
I was waiting for Escobar. You can see I'm on camera like, Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good one.
In this league, yeah, because that would be pretty dope. But, yeah, I think that would be it. Now, if I'm doing one without, and again, I'm not picking my people or my faction. Give me Sebastian Escobar. Give me Sebastian Escobar, McKennedy, JJ, and Payne. Yeah, and I'll just replace myself with McKennedy or you, either way, because I feel like I don't know who. Well, yeah, because I don't know who would lead the group. Like it's weird because I figure like in a 4-person group maybe Sebastian Escobar is going to lead, but then if you throw in you, it would be like dual leader. Hey, it would be cool.
I'm trying to think now, cool. Like because if he did mean like people who just aren't in factions, like RGX is not, Nerd isn't, RGX Nerd.
Yeah. James Black,
and Costner.
That would be good.
That's a nobody in factions list that I like. So yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah, that would be good.
What's your next one?
All right. I think we've done this one, but I'm not for sure. He says, "Who has not come from the JRPL that you'd like to see in the FPL?"
Oh, we did that before. Super Hippo, absolutely. Super Hippo is still my number one. He's my number one. The Super Hippo, and followed by Jut Jut, just because he and I had awesome back and forth feuds and teams. Those are probably my 2. Though
and Lily.
And Lily. Oh my God, Lily coming back to Rec Shop would be amazing.
That'd be great.
Because I'm the one who took her out. But we actually just got 3J Platinum back in. He just debuted with the FPL. So that's another one down. And I want them all. I want everybody. I want all and more. So absolutely. And I mean everybody. Yeah, that means Bomber too. I'd love to have Bomber in. I'll say it. I'll be that guy. We can work with the character so good. He's welcome. He's been asked. He said he wasn't into it. So fair enough. But we asked, I believe, every single person we could. And we have no idea how to contact Super Hippo. I think same with Tom and Cross. we didn't really have any way to contact them. I figure at this point they would have known by now because I think I actually have them on Twitter and they would have seen this stuff by now. So if they're not into it, they're not into it. But all are welcome.
Or the Finn.
Oh, the Finn. Yeah.
The Finn hasn't been around.
Definitely those guys too. So let's see. What's my next one here? Actually, I got 5. I lied. I didn't realize there was a 5th one down there. So. My third question I got from Broken Nerd. When are power rankings being debuted in the FPL? We kind of answered that one before too. I said like never say never. It's just not happening. At least not right now. Never say never. But it's just a thing with the workload where it's like it's not really something that's a priority. We do at least have it with the profiles, which all credit to GMSG on updating those with stats and everything. You can kind of get a look at where people stand there. Not like he's ranked 8th, but you can see the wins and losses and the streaks, the momentum. So it's kind of already there, and we don't really see a need for it. Partly because it's still so new as well. We're kind of finding footing for everything. And we are mishmashing, because I know internally we talked actually back in the JRPL about the divisions. Like, Is there a division for the Road Warrior? Is there a division for the Ultraviolent? Is there a division for the Top Lock? And do we cross these? Because we did have discussions before about how someone did really good, but they're not going towards this. So we give them this other one. It's like you see someone who's in line for a world title, but they get an IC title shot instead. That kind of thing. But it's like it's a different division, and we didn't. If you just do heels, faces, and tweeners, that's not divisions by title. So we debated: do we do title divisions? Do we do the other? But we're not really gonna do any of that because we've not found it to be something that we need. And yeah, people are asking for it, but not that much. So if there was a way to do it that was, I want to say functional, like if it made sense where it's something that can be part of what's already happening, absolutely. Almost like some kind of mathematical algorithm, right? Like if there was a way to just be like, oh, based on this person has now moved into first place. Like that would be something neat to build off of the stats. But I don't see something where we're sitting there going, all right, this person advanced, this person dropped. Especially when we're pulling our hair out when there's a double week shot. Coming up, imagine this. There's going to be Best in the World and Slammiversary, and then a week later, Money in the Bank. 3 shows within a 2-week span. But only the latter one counts, technically, because that's the only main show. That's hell to deal with for power rankings and stuff like that, because like the brain thinks there's momentum, but they don't really count. I just don't see it right now. If anything, we kind of discuss it here on... I almost said Frontline, on Trenches, BeerMe. And we could kind of incorporate some kind of informal or official who do we have as the top heel, face, and tweener? Right? Maybe we can build that into the show somehow? I don't know. Like, we could do something there. That might be the place for it, but I don't see it being its own thing. It might be something folded into Trenches as I think off the cuff, and that could actually work, where we could say, like, the number 1 is this, and number 2 is that. Or at least here's what I think, and then you have yours, and take it from there. So that might be the way to do it, for all I know. If I'm doing it right now, number 1 is... I automatically think Payne. He's in line for the world title. But he's been losing, so I kind of think Bastion, with the momentum, would probably be number 1 right now, just off the top of my head. I'm not even thinking like heel or face. He's just that guy. But the creatures are up there too because they won the tag titles. Here they go again. Like it's happening. So stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you don't have much to say on the power rankings. Do you miss them? Do you want to see those come back or incorporate them into Trenches? Like I said.
It doesn't. Yes and no. I liked them, but I mean it's not a deal breaker for me necessarily. So
if it was there, you'd enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's just one of those extra things that's pretty cool.
Yeah. What's your next question?
Do you want to see any? Do you want to see tournaments in the FPL? Which ones would you like to see? They can be from the GARPL or new.
Well, I'll answer that one first because that's more of a booking thing. We absolutely made a decision to not really have any tournament during the first year. The main reason for that is we know from booking tournaments, dealing with the King of the Ring, the Tag Tournament, and the TOD, Tournament of Death, from JRPL, the year that we booked it, tournaments take up so much time. And COVID got in the way of things, and we had to delay shows for when stuff was going to happen. And you might have a booking storyline you want to do, but you have to have this person face that person because it's a tournament. So when you're in your first year establishing stuff, a true tournament, nah, that we got that out of the way pretty quick. We also thought we did too many. At least I felt that way. I'll say that. King of the Ring was one too many. I love the idea and was awesome to build toward the title shot. I thought that was an awesome thing, and it was a hell of a lot of fun with like the best of the best. Best in the world, one might say. I was all for it, but it just ended up not being beneficial to us when it happened, and it kind of soured my opinion of it. But absolutely in the future, if we do it, it'll be like one to start, and then we'll see what happens at the follow-up, because it's going to tie everybody up that's in it, be it 8 people, 16 people, whatever it is, 32 if we do 16 teams, or 16 people with 8 teams. We don't even have that many teams, so we can't do a tag tournament. And there's not really a reason to do a tournament right yet. Because we have the informal tournament toward the world title. It's more like you win this, you win that, you win that. So we already kind of have something. I'm considering SummerSlam a tournament final, full stop. But it's definitely in the cards. Like, it's going to come. And would we do any from the JRPL? I doubt we would call it the Tag Team Championship Classic. I doubt we would do the Tournament of Death. Full disclosure, that's Bombers. I don't even want to do that without his permission, so I would not even think of that. But a hardcore tournament, absolutely. I see no problem with that, but we wouldn't call it TOD. That's his thing. King of the Ring, that's probably the go-to one. That's why we did that, because that's what everybody kind of knows, especially with the way SmackDown is. That might end up being a thing, but we'll hold off on that. We'll see where that goes. But would we do like contendership tournaments or have a tournament with the belt in there defended every outing? I like those, but they're also a pain in the ass because it kind of it doesn't wreck things, but it's just it almost takes away part of the fun of making the stuff and building towards something, because it's just going to be a matter of and it's just there. So it does make things a bit easier, but you're just kind of seeing it through. At least that's how I felt. I could be the lone person on that. But still, we're yes, eventually, but not in the first year. So 2022 would be the first one, I would think. But you never know. We might come down to it and have like a mini 4-man tournament for a contender for TLC. Who knows? Like, informal tournaments are definitely a thing too, where we're looking at contenders. This person wins. If they win, they move on. We're kind of thinking that way, but nothing official quite yet. I've rambled a lot, BeerMe. Do you like the tournaments? Do you want to see any comeback? Or any debut?
Yeah, I do like tournaments, but like I said, I agree with you from a booking aspect. I mean, I wouldn't want to have one in the first year, and and it's kind of hard to book around all of that different stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I would like to see a Watson Rules tournament if we were going to have one.
That could be interesting. That
like
could be good.
Yeah, kind of like a pure rules type thing, but,
yeah.
You know, Watson, obviously.
The other main part I was going to say with that, the reason why none for the first year, beyond all that stuff, is because it gets in the way of establishing heels and faces. Because if we're trying to book heels against faces, like we've had some face and heel stuff, but with a tournament you have to, because both heels advanced. Well, poop. Now what? So we'd rather not have that happen out of the gate as well. If it's going to happen, it's of our own accord, where like this two enemies end up against each other, kind of thing. So. But I like a Watson tournament. That could be interesting. That could be good.
Right.
Do you see like that, like a contendership tournament would be that kind of thing, like the winner faces the champion, or is the champion in there the whole way through?
Some of them you can do it, and some of them you don't have to. If the champ's going to be in it, it might as well not be like a longer type tournament, because I don't know, the odds are not in his favor. But if you had like a mini tournament, like a 4 or like an 8. I would say the champ could be in, but if you were doing like a 10, 12, 16, I'd say that would be reserved for the guy who would then go on to face the champ.
I like that. Let's see, what's my next question here? JJ Rocky, the trench warfighter. He asked, have you guys started planning for Mania? Yes, we have. Do you think the Money in the Bank winner will cash in early or hold off later in the year? I have an idea about that. I'm going to keep reading. He's got more. Why is JJ Rocky winning the Money in the Bank match? Well, about that. Why are the Simple Creatures going to be the best champs ever, and who do you think can challenge them? Well, okay. Have we started playing for Mania? Absolutely. In the sense that we're always thinking of it. We've got Survivor Series ideas. We got Mania. I was walking home from work 2 days ago and went, and I had an awesome idea for Mania. That's how my ideas usually happen, where it's suddenly like, oh, that would be great. So I've written it down. It's in there. It might be the way to go. It could be a massive thing for somebody. Yep. Definitely planning. Specifics? Nah. It's more just like, what would I do there? What would be good for this? And we do have those booking calls every other week or so, where it's like, I think this would be cool for this person, and we could build towards this for that. And we just try to get those storylines happening. So That's a bit of what we're going to see tonight as we announce some of these matches where stuff is kind of seeding towards other stuff. And long-term with Mania, absolutely. That said, if people have ideas or feuds they want to build to, even if it's a Mania feud way down the line, let us know, because we can start working on the storylines. We can start stuff. It can even be a case where you look at it and go, SummerSlam's a good time to debut that. Like, that's August. Today's June 30th. We can start now to build towards stuff. Because
right.
One match doesn't count towards that doesn't mean we're not still working our way there. So that's that part. Do you think Money in the Bank winner will cash in early or hold off till later in the year? I think they will. Because if you cash in at like a house show or a takeover, a smaller show, you got a great shot with the Money in the Bank bonus, which I forget. I think it's a +10. So I think that is an interesting thing where it could happen really quick, because after SummerSlam we've got All Out and potentially a Crown Jewel in October. There's Clash of Champions as well. These are potentially smaller shows the way they've been doing them. Like Hell in a Cell had 6 matches, so I could easily see someone looking at it going, "I'm going to cash in." That said, whoever wins, JJ, I don't know if you're in, JJ. Well, we might have names later. We'll see. Maybe. Regarding that, whoever does win, again, we've said that the winner of Money in the Bank can cash in after SummerSlam. So that's definitive. However, we thought of this. What if there's no champion and we have another draw at SummerSlam? That means we rematch and we figure it out, and the Money in the Bank holder has to wait until there is a champion declared first. And then after that show, you have a year. So that means that we could potentially have 2 Money in the Bank briefcase holders at one time when you get down to it.
That's wild. Which
is a wild concept, because it's not fair to win Money in the Bank in July and your stuff starts in September, right? Like, no, it's September, not July.
Right.
So, but I do think it's going to be early. I think so.
I do too.
The last part, though, why are the Simple Creatures going to be the best champs ever, and who do you think can challenge them? Well, they are the tag team champions, and I've said long and hard, that they are the best tag team I've ever encountered in 4 years of this stuff, and the only team they never beat was really the Solution, because that wasn't a team anymore, and they won our inaugural tag titles. So, yeah, who's going to challenge them? I'm going to say right now, it's going to be someone you don't expect. Because, I say that from experience, as the outsiders dethrone the Solution. So, that's what's going to happen. The Creatures are going to be thrown by somebody you would not expect. That's who it is. Who is that? I have no idea. I'm going to say right now, I'm kind of pulling for the Strays. I've been saying it. I want them to keep running roughshod in that undercard, work their way up, and go for a title shot. I want that. So, that's my... I want the Strays. Because no one would expect that. Who are these guys? And here they come, right? That's what I want. The Creatures know all these opponents. They don't know these guys. That's their biggest threat. But they're that good. So, who do you think? What do you think on that stuff? Why is JJ Rocky winning Money in the Bank ladder match? And why are the Creatures going to be the best?
Because they'll probably show up like Brock Lesnar and just pull down the case. But
throw people into the crowd.
Yeah. He's gonna make his way. He'll make his way up there somehow, some way, and grab the briefcase.
Yeah.
And who will dethrone the Creatures? Well, I mean, if it wasn't for a technicality, they wouldn't be. If it was for a technicality, they wouldn't be champs right now.
So you think DMI in a rematch? You think DMI can? Yeah,
I'd say either them or the Strays right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say either one of those two teams have a good chance.
I like that. So. I like that. What's your? I think your last question then, right?
Oh yeah. Does BeerMe have any advice for Scott on how to get over lost CT? He will have to deal with that one soon. Well, I don't.
God damn it, CT said you that, didn't he?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm still not over that because it was 1 point. But, I'll get over it eventually. I'll get that back someday.
Yeah, storyline-wise, when I was going after Red 2 years ago, I think it was now, for Love is Hell in a Cell, I had to get my vengeance on, I think it was Ring of Honor NXT, and I beat Junction, but I did not beat CT. then I beat red. So I've never beaten CT, I think, in that kind of situation. So I'm a little worried. You have no advice? Great, thanks.
Right, yeah, I just have no advice. Yeah. We're both dealing with losing at these times, so I mean, let's deal with it in our own way.
Yeah. Last question is from Sherf Dog, fan of the show. I swear, he loves the Shadow, but he does message every time, and it's like, oh, it's a good show, thanks. I appreciate that. It's awesome. So it's good to hear that. Please let us know what you like or don't like. Same thing on top of the card. I think my volume was a bit low, so I hope I've fixed that for this. It's the same recording, so hopefully that's better for everybody here. That was JD messaging that. So again, let us know all the stuffs. We'll fix it. We'll improve it. We'll go from there. But Sherf Dog asked, who has been the biggest surprise since WrestleMania in the FPL, and what has been the biggest moment in the FPL since WrestleMania? There's really only been the 2 shows, right? No, 3. Sorry. It was Rebellion, Money in the Bank, and Hell in a Cell, right? There's only been the 3, I think. Takeover. There was Takeover in there, wasn't there? In your house, yes.
Wait, yeah.
That's not a good start if I'm not remembering all 4 shows out of 4. But the biggest,
right.
Who has been the biggest surprise? I mean, it's not because he asked it, but I just mentioned the Strays, how they've come in. I think how they're doing well is one thing, but truthfully, the biggest surprise for me is the fact that Matt Zion and Rab keep winning.
Yeah.
That's
what? That's a freaking good one right there. I love to say that, but honestly, I mean, I think the biggest surprise might be JJ losing 2 in a row, or Hawk just keeps rolling. He just keeps rolling. He keeps doing that thing. He's the MVP of the pre-show, which, I mean, that'll get you somewhere. But he just keeps rolling.
So on the flip side then, what has been the biggest moment in the FPL since WrestleMania? I automatically think a Stadium Stampede.
Yeah, that was really good.
That's probably it for me offhand.
I like the 6-man Hell in a Cell, and then everybody came out to brawl.
Yeah, and
that was
actually
like a big moment.
The tag title match when everybody came out to watch too. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that. Yeah, those things are pretty good.
Full disclosure, CT and Red wrote all that. I didn't want to pick any of my own. If I do pick one of mine, it's CT destroying the Canadian title. That was me. That was me destroying my own thing. That's mine, but that's a personal one. So, yeah, that's probably mine. Yeah. Any other thoughts on that one? I think I feel like I'm forgetting something.
There's probably something massive.
There's like, oh yeah, the biggest moment. God damn it! It's gonna be like everyone's probably screaming in the comments, in the chat at what it should be. It all does blur together a little bit. Forgive me.
It does, yeah.
I don't want to dwell on it too much. It's probably going to pop up as we're talking about the upcoming matches. It's like, oh yeah, this one. Nope. Nope. I got nothing.
No, I can't. I mean, no. Was Bastion being the Joker again? Was that like a?
Oh, that was pretty great.
Mania?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
That's Oh, Double or Nothing. Forgot about Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
That was Stadium Stampede, so I did remember it. But yeah, there's 5 shows. Actually, that was great. I think my favorite moment, and I wrote it, was I couldn't stop laughing when I thought of this, but it's when JJ threw Monkey Bong into the crowd and then got angry.
Yeah.
He wasn't eliminated, so he went out and started powerbombing people to eliminate him. That's my favorite singular moment that I wrote. Because I was like, I just love that idea. Because normally, like, what are you doing? And they wait until they get back in. He's like, nah. And he goes out after him. And now, when I think Red wrote one of his next matches, and he went to throw someone else in the crowd. It was Red. I think he went to throw Red in the crowd and mine. He's gone to throw others in the crowd now, so that's his thing. He's a crowd thrower. A crowd pleaser? I don't know. He'll take some nicknames off of that. But yeah. Yeah, those were probably... That's probably my singular favorite moment. That's probably my overall singular favorite moment, too, because that's a thing. Whenever I think of a JJ Rocky match, I'm like, how can he throw someone far? So,
Right.
but yeah, that is the questions, the Q&A. Thank you, everybody, for those. That's a lot of fun. Obviously, we love those. Some really good questions, too, to make us kind of think and reflect back on stuff, which is something else we wanted to do. Kind of like, oh, what's our favorite moments? So that's awesome that came up, because we did it. So we kind of did two birds, one stone there. That was really cool. I like that. But BeerMe, how about we look at the upcoming events to talk about the future of the FPL?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So we've got a few here. We have Best in the World. And as prophetic as it was, the tag champs are on that logo. Best in the World's coming up. We do have La Familia, Sebastian Escobar, Detrick Cyrus, and the Alpha Dog facing CJ Hawk, Lexi Briggs, and Junction. That is already on our page here. And also on the page is myself versus CT. Yes, that's happening. That's it. So, how many matches do you have for this, BeerMe? Do you have any for Best in the World?
2.
2? As do I. Well, I'll announce yours first. It's BeerMeJesus one-on-one with Broken Nerd.
Dope.
At Best in the World, no less.
Best in the world.
The other one, let's keep going with FBU. It's the GMSG one-on-one with James Costner.
Oh, right.
There's some good matches in there. Some good matches. I like that.
That's good stuff.
What do you have?
I have JJ Rocky, who's trying to, not slide here.
Get off the JJ slide, road. Right?
Yeah. He is facing Ace High.
Ooh, he's going to throw him into the crowd.
Most likely.
Doesn't mean he'll win, but he's going to throw him into the crowd.
Mm-hmm. And then I have Cam will be taking on one member of OVS in Angela Grace.
Ooh, I like that. Angela Grace stepping up again. And yes, I help book these, but I forget them. I don't know which ones he has. So I'm like, what was it again? We're booking multiple, so I am reacting legitimately to some of these, yes. Because I forget them as we go. I like that match, because that's Angela Grace. She's been winning a few tag matches, so I like her stepping out into some singles to see what can happen here. So that's it. And Cam's been very consistent. He might actually be one of the most underrated, now that I think back on it. He might be, because he's getting the shots, but he's just it's not quite happening. And he was right there neck and neck with Raul Nintendo, and look where we are. So I think he might be one of the more underrated as well, now that I think on it.
That's pretty good.
So that's Best in the World. More will come, obviously, next week, because it's going to be like a week after that. But that's that. Let's scroll. Let's scroll through. Oh, look, it's Slammiversary. That's the 17th. Let's just go over here. And we go, boop, and the Slammiversary time. Look at that. Now, I've got some matches for that. Do you have any matches for this one, too?
I got 2.
Okay. You do yours first this time.
All right. I got Josh Dionio. He will be taking on Raul Nintendo.
Ooh, yes. Let's cross-pollinate those champions and contenders. See, that's what I'm talking about, the divisions.
Mm-hmm.
We can have some fun with that. That's a big test for Raul Nintendo. That's, if anything, JD, yeah, he's got history. He's a veteran, literally, but also he's a former champion, like one of the more decorated back in the JRPL. But he's proven himself here. Like he's not getting a fair pass, or a free pass rather. He's getting a fair pass, but he's not getting a free pass just because of who he was. He's taken names, and Raul Nintendo's up next, so that should be a very interesting match. I like that one a lot. What else you got?
All right. We have RGX taking on Lucian Hollis. That's a good one.
Ooh, yeah, that's
yeah.
That's a little bit of interesting stuff, considering RGX and Lucian Hollis both won Hell in a Cell. Hells in a Cell? They both won cell matches. And one of them is moving towards the title. The other one didn't. So this is interesting.
That's right before Money in the Bank, too, right?
Uh-huh.
Man, RGX could get messed up before Money in the Bank. He's taking on a big...
it's a dangerous one. It's a very dangerous one. But I like it.
It's what happens when you're a mega face.
Yep.
You just don't care. Just take on all the challengers. Including a werewolf.
Now, I scrolled down a bit. We do have JJ Rocky facing Jonathan C.T. Martin at this event as well. That's already been confirmed, I believe, last time. But I'm just mentioning it because it's a slide match. No, it's a normal one-on-one. But also at Slammiversary, here's the matches I've got. We got James Costner back. I'm announcing 2 of his matches. James Costner, you face GMSG at Best in the World. You've got Bastion at Slammiversary. So, we were saying Costner is like on the way up. Here we go. Can he eclipse past these guys? Yes. However, GMSG and Bastion are 2 of the toughest out there. I've rarely beaten either of them. One of them never. So, yeah, Costner, I got faith in him, though. He can do this. He's in that point where he can beat anybody right now, and it does not surprise me. Not that it should, but he's consistent. He's solid enough. He's in that echelon, I think. So, now here's a 2-part that I've got. I've got a match. It's Jace of Blades versus Chappers. So, the winning side will pick a stipulation for another match that I'm confirming. At SummerSlam, JJ Rocky faces Jace of Blades. If Jace wins or Chappers wins, the winning side will pick the stipulation for that match.
I like that.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Because Jace has...
I like that a lot, actually.
Jace has his fate in his own hands, but Chappers is in there for JJ. But Chappers has been doing better than JJ right now. Sorry, JJ. But it's not a bad thing to have Chappers in there. Chappers and Modstep have been awesome, like, for years. Yep. So, that's pretty good. And that's all I've got for that one, BeerMe. Let's keep scrolling. Look at this Money in the Bank. We're not going to beat around the bush on this one because we're going to announce all of the Money in the Bank competitors right now. We're going to do it. You're getting everybody right now. It's 2-3 weeks out almost, but we're going to announce everybody involved in that match. What do you say, BeerMe?
No, I'm down.
You want to alternate? You do one, I do one? Or do you want?
All right,
or do you want to have your last name last? Who wants to go first here?
You can. You know what? You go first.
Okay. The first entrant is Cam.
All right. The second entrant is the GMSG.
I'll have to hurt him. Damn it. I hate him so much. The next entrant, I've said his name a few times, James Costner.
Ooh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I will go with, one of the most underrated people here, LJ. Where he's going to be in it.
Best part
Not
is,
you, JJ.
The best part is I forget the names that you have, and you don't know the names that I have. So these are legitimate reactions on both sides. I also don't know the order yours are in either, so I keep forgetting. The next one I've got is Angela Grace. Grace, like I said, is kind of like earning that way. That's why the single match is in there. See what we can do. That's where that's coming in. So Angela gets that spot.
Oh, man. Which one do I want to go next? I'm gonna save this one for last. The next one is Jonathan C.T. Martin.
Ah! Boo! I'll injure him. I'll take him out. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll take him out. If I don't, this person will. Yeah, I'm sure you'll like this name. Lucian Hollis.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. I'll freely say it right here. It's a little bit where he kind of like both. We got 2 guys that one sells. One gets a title shot. One's not really in line for one. We'll put him.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little bit of consolation, but he's still facing the guy that's getting the title shot. We're working with it. It's the fair thing. But also, Hollis is going to destroy people in that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But who's your last name? Who's the one that can stop him?
He's the MVP show. It's CJ Hawk.
CJ Hawk. That could be the dark horse right there, couldn't it?
Yep. One half of Smiles and Shades.
It could be. Could you imagine if Lexi wins the world title and he's got Money in the Bank?
Would it be all smiles in that group?
Oh,
Would it
not
be
if
all
he
smiles
cashes
for
in.
Smiles and Shade?
No, not if he cashes
Right?
in. So obviously, there's a couple names you're like, what? Like JJ Rocky. JJ, I love you, dude, but the recent momentum has not been the best, and others get in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That said, very high profile stuff, and wins get good stuff. So yeah, I mean that's why I'm not in there. I've had a couple wins, but that's it. So I don't belong in there. I know you're not in there. Obviously, we did leave out anybody who is a champion, and we left out anybody who is an immediate contender, like who's been confirmed and is in our heads as the next contender, because we do have a couple other matches here and there, not announcing yet, but potential ones. But otherwise, if there's a storyline going on, doesn't matter. Money in the Bank's Money in the Bank. You're good to go. You were eligible. So it's just a matter of wins and losses. So I know people are going to be heartbroken. People are going to be bummed out. I am. But these are the ones, and it's Money in the Bank. Like it's like, oh, this person's it. You got a 1 in 8 shot. not to dissuade it, not to make it sound poo poo, but it's still like it's 1 in 8. Like if you think that person doesn't belong in there, they're probably not going to win, or that's when they do and they absolutely belonged in there. So that's right. That's my thought on that. But yeah, so Money in the Bank. I'll say my names again just so people can remember this. It's Cam, James Costner, Angela Grace, Lucian Hollis, and from BeerMe's list, it is go.
The GMSG, LJ, and Jonathan C.T. Martin, and the MVP of the pre-show, CJ.
Who's your pick?
If I can't pick GMSG, I'm gonna pick. Oh man,
You want to pick Hollis, don't you?
Kinda.
I do.
Either him or Hawk.
Hawk. It's Hollis, Hawk, or Costner, and I've said it many times.
Yeah.
Costner is the most dangerous. I said this last time with Money in the Bank. I think it was. He's potentially the most dangerous with it because people overlook him. People aren't overlooking him anymore. So I think Costner is like he's going to be lethal with that briefcase. He would snipe with that. Cam would be the feel good, obviously. Angela Grace would turn around OVS very quickly.
Yeah, it would be out of nowhere.
It would be out of nowhere. Yeah, and Lucian Hollis would like Destiny, uprooted to be fulfilled would be great. From yours, GMSG. I mean, he can do it, sure. And CT, yeah whatever. But
LJ,
but LJ, yeah,
and the creatures can do it. Yeah,
LJ.
Then they would have a monopoly here.
Yeah, and forgive me, what was the fourth name you had? CMSG. CT, GMSG, LJ, and
CJ Hawk.
CJ Hawk. That's why I was CT. CJ threw me off. Hawk. Hawk's a feel good. I could really see Hawk getting it. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So, everybody in Money in the Bank, please go to the Discord, go down to the match types. You can read how these things work, because ladder matches do have a progression of how you get points right, like sequential. Do take a look at those to make sure you know what your picks are going to be for Money in the Bank in 2-3 weeks. Otherwise, you've got Best in the World, you've got Slammiversary. Those are coming up. I believe they're both on Sundays. Like normally, Ring of Honor is a Friday. It's a Sunday. And Slammiversary, I think, is also a Sunday. It's weird right now. Like, everybody who does Sundays are doing Saturdays, and flip. It's awkward, but keep an eye out for that. We'll try to remind you guys in the coming weeks as we go. But that's all I've got for this one, Bear Me. Any other thoughts? Any other questions you want to ask? Because I don't know what else to run with here. I think I'm running out of stuff. What do you got, though? Anything?
I can't really think of too many questions. Make sure everybody gets your picks in. Like I said, they're on different days and stuff. And good luck to everybody in the Money in the Bank. I'm rooting for GMSG, but there are others out there that I'm rooting for if GMSG doesn't win this.
Yeah.
So.
And I'll say right now, that double weekend with Slammiversary and Money in the Bank, the results will be out before Money in the Bank, obviously. And both picks pages will be up at the same time at one point, simply because of how it's going to have to be that way, because we'll know Impact after Thursday, and then Friday with SmackDown for Money in the Bank. So they'll both be available, so make sure you do the right ones for the right ones, all that fun stuff. And I mean, we mentioned it with Smiles and Shades. What if Bastion won the title and GMSG had the Money in the Bank?
Are you saying that he would do like a miss thing and just cash in?
I mean, I remember how the King of the Ring went last year. And how we had to run it back again, and he did not get the shot against you. And then Bastion...
It's true.
Bastion never got his actual rematch, remember, too. In the greatest match
true.
ever. So, we could have a lot of Destiny coming along in an awesome way. Oh, I feel dirty for saying that.
That is kind of
I regret that. He's never going to let me live that one down. He's probably laughing, messaging me, future GMSG, shut
up. Right.
But yeah, I guess we'll end it there. This has been a lot of fun. Bear me, believe it or not, this has been about an hour, almost, about 50 minutes. These ones fly. This is one of the longer ones. It felt short. They fly by. Thank you, everyone, again, for sending these questions over to Frontline League and to Red, CT, GMSG, Bear Me, and myself. So appreciate those. Send more in, because we'll just compile them, too, as we go, and to not have to, like, build so. So if you have anything in mind, send it our way. Ideas for things like the power rankings to incorporate that. Any ideas for how, besides just do it? We'll take everything into consideration, by all means. And get us those story ideas. If you got ideas for Best in the World, you got ideas for Slammiversary, you got ideas for WrestleMania, let us know. We'll work on that, and we'll try to get some fun stuff in there. But we're not going to tell you everything, because what's the fun in that? It's more fun to see stuff as it reveals and unfolds. So we'll keep stuff close to the vest as well as we go. But I think that's it for me. I've rambled plenty long enough, Beer Me. Thanks for rambling along with me. Thanks again, everybody, and have a good night.